Okay, back. That previous video unfortunately crashed. It's going to mess up the sync on it and everything, but I mean, it's just amazing to watch those wins over and over. Hope you guys are able to see that. Um, and anyway, we're right now at a point. This is going to be the last video because this session is about to end. After 108 spins, it's showing signs of the wheel being worn out. So it's very interesting here. I don't know exactly how to call it in advance, but I see that these numbers are all very high, and these numbers are like uniformly high. Uh, and I'm just not sure as to how it all is working or gelling, but the system eventually is unable to make a suggestion, and when that happens, the session ends. So, and that is the sign of a clogged wheel because you've just beat the living crud out of it to the point to where it can't keep up. It cannot continue to provide betting opportunities when you keep slamming them down before they have a chance to develop. Okay, and it's like when you're farming, you have to like you can't just keep tilling the same soil. You have to rotate your fields. If you keep tilling the same soil year after year, you deplete it of all nutrition, and that's what's happening here. We deplete the wheel of nutrition, and that's when the big loss streak comes through to wipe you out. Okay, and that's what's when you play the standard cav, why there's such a big downswing like that is because of that. Okay, so but anyway, this is the solution, or this is working. Is what I mean to say. This is absolutely working. And then there's just the statistical issue that we have to cover as far as safety, long term, and whatnot like that. Um, but okay, so let's see what has just happened. We've entered this, so we're optimized there. We need to make sure our double street, which we don't have a choice on double street at the moment. We need to make sure our corner is holding at 333, and it is. So we are now optimized, and so let's spin. Okay, the zero used to be our friend. That's one thing I miss is the zero. Like, every time you see the green, you know you win. Uh, Look, it's still no message. We are close to the end, folks. We are close to the end. Now, this is when it gets scary because right here is when the wheel's at its weakest point. When these splits are most likely going to be the ones, that, okay, and we're just hoping that one of these will come through for us so it'll end the session. This would be a good time to manually end the session, like right here, and just take our profit of like 283 units profit right here. We could just manually end the system right here, end the session. But anyway, let's just see. Let's let the system do it for us. Let's just see what happens. Developing a system, right? So let's do that. Um, Corner holding at 333. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see if this is it. Nope. It still has a gasp of air here. So okay, so 14 to 15 is now going to 24 to 27. Okay, and there's no conflict there. Um, it does open up a double street of 10. So let's compare 7 and 10, and we see that 10 is better. So we're going to improve, that is, optimize our double street. And now let's check our corner as well. We're at 1 at 333. So if we can get an 11, yeah, good luck, right? Um, 391. Oh my gosh, the 13. See, notice how it does that. And it's always like that. The double street will always, beat out. So, but otherwise, we're fine. So now we are optimized. We're going to log our profit of 4,300 now. Okay, and this wheel is about to um, kick out. It's gonna kick over and die here on us. And so let's see here. We are optimized. We must spin. Okay, 36. Again, scary time right here. Oh, no message. This is scary. This is scary. Who's gonna? All right, here we go. 36. Oh man, This is the time to manually end the session, I think. Okay, right here is the sign to do it, right? There's only like one of these splits left before it ends. I'm just saying, you'll see it. All right, so now we are going to progress and just let's hope. Right, and we're going to go here on the progression. And so here we go. Bam, 23. This could be the end. There it is. Bingo! You've witnessed it. The wheel is officially clogged. Now, did I call it? Yes, I did. And all right, now let's take a look at this amazing phenomenon as we clear this board. This is 4305 is our profit. All right, let's take a look at that. Okay, so we're going to be at 4305. Okay, and then we're at 4015. I know this is stupid to have to do this, but anyway, minus 290. Only 290. Hey, I got ripped off. All right, so 290 units, and let's see, session. What is it? Session 5. Okay, and it was 112 spins. Profit. And see here, 290 units. Okay. And that takes care of that. So now, I just want to, before I go, because I'm going to have to go, we need to talk about, and then I'll hit the key and let you see it re-randomize and see what it looks like. What does it look like? Okay, I don't understand why, like how I can tell by looking at this, but here, this is turn 112. This is the value, relative value of the, this is the absolute value of the corners and the double streets as numbers, as individual numbers. Like if you take 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, the values of them, they will total out at 455. Okay, so the absolute value. So this is, it's going to be subtracting out the turn, and it's going to be adding all 6 of these together. The total is 455. What we don't, the information that we don't have by this figure is what are the concentrations of numbers based on these numbers, like what's the concentration, and if I was to make a real analyzer, it would analyze this and show balance. Like if I was to, for instance, click right here, this line would then turn to a page where it would show the concentrations of analysis based on each one of these numbers as to how the 455 was generated, and we can actually see where it's weighted. Is it overly weighted to 2 numbers and the rest of the numbers are fresh? What exactly is the concentration, so we could actually analyze it. Okay, which is interesting. But I mean, I don't know. These numbers just are where they're at, and for whatever reason, when we had this 23 split hit, it was unable to provide a suggestion. It couldn't. There is no split available right now that's better than 111 in rating. Okay, and it's because, and the reason is because it's not just because of splits. It's not. It's because of the numbers. Because I've done this phenomenon appears when you just do straight numbers and you don't do splits, but this is just so happens that we're doing it with splits. Okay, but the phenomenon is the same. It's called a clogged wheel. Okay, it's where all of a sudden our splits are the best splits, even if it hits, and that's because, and the reason is because the rest of the wheel is trying to catch up. The numbers here on the rest of the wheel are need to grow. You have to spin in order for them to grow big enough to have a value that's big enough to allow a new split to be chosen. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? This is a phenomenon that occurs when you beat the living crap out of the wheel, and there's no, you know what I mean? There's nothing left. You till the soil till there's no nutrition. That's what this is right here. It's called a clogged wheel. I've never heard of it. I made it up. Okay. If somebody else has already done this study and they've come up with this phenomenon and everybody knows about it and everything, all right. I mean, that's fine. I'm not claiming that I have something that nobody else knows. I'm just saying I discovered it myself and I didn't read it anywhere. Okay. So I'm not aware of anybody else that knows this. Okay. But I learned it from observation during experiments. Okay. That's how I was able to come up with a phenomenon. Now, this is the phenomenon, okay, that people that are, you know what I'm saying, that'll tell you, and we all know it's real, okay? Guys like real, okay? And other people. It's not just real. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that are out there, and they'll say, and they just, they all say the same thing. Oh, yeah, playing cold numbers is the easiest way to get beaten by the wheel and have worse odds than if you were just playing normally. Because your cold numbers are going to sleep forever. Okay, well, that's true when you're in it, when the wheel is in a position like it is right now, when you've beaten the living crap out of it, taken all nutrition away from it, okay, there's nothing left to eat, okay, you got no nutritional value in the wheel, of course it's going to tend to slam you. It's going to, because why? Because the law of the third says that a third of the wheel is going to sleep, and now is the time for the wheel to turn, and it's going to start hitting all the numbers that are not held under splits. Okay. And yeah, we may be able to compensate with some corners and double streets, okay, because we have access to them, and like that. But for the most part, we're going to get nailed, okay? And because there's no nutrition left in the wheel. Now, the study that's left to be done is how does the wheel move, went from being clogged, how does it move back into being seasoned again? And I have a feeling that it just remains mostly clogged, and it'll jump out every once in a while, less frequently than it should, into the seasoned area, and it will remain there for a small time. In other words, I don't know that the wheel has a capacity to recover properly. Okay, and I think that is where the mistaken statistical analysis comes from, because anyone that says that that acknowledge sleeping numbers, that your numbers go sleeping, acknowledges equal distribution, that it does work. And so, therefore, because this system is able to identify numbers that uh, are more likely to hit and they don't sleep, that's the opposite of the criticism about this system, which means that if I can do that, then I have a working system, and they agree, based just tacitly without actually saying so. They agree that the numbers are there. It's just that their description of the clogging of the wheel is accurate, but it's not. In other words, clogging of the wheel exists, but it doesn't exist all the time. If you play, that's another thing. If you play enough numbers, you have to play groups of numbers. You can't just play like a handful of numbers. The more numbers you play, the greater. Because why? Because a third of a wheel is 12 or 13 if you want to be like aggressive about it, or conservative, however you want to do that. 12.1, I think, or 12.3 or something like that. But you go 12 or 13 numbers. Okay, that's one third. So if in order to have an advantage, you have to do more than 12 numbers, more than 13 numbers, okay? So what are we doing with the cav? We're playing 20 numbers. We're not paying for 20, we're playing 20, okay? And so that is a good, strong advantage above the law of the third, okay? It gives us, even variance is included. So so then that's an advantage right there, where we're not trapped in the law, like so immediately necessarily trapped in the law of the third, because we have more numbers than the law of the third can come up with, you know. So I mean, that's really it right there. Um, and this system definitely works. The only weakness to the system is progression, and I have to run statistical analysis that's based on using this system in relation to splits, which It's a nightmare. It takes effort, and I don't necessarily have time to do it. Anyway, I just stopped making excuses. Just do it. You know what I mean? I just like testing, though. I think testing is fun. So, all right. So there it is. You guys seen this? I mean, if you can, watch that second video. If you can, I mean, just watch the spins. You can see this phenomenon. Okay. So I've shown you all three stages. The green. Okay. I've shown you seasoned. Okay. We saw that uptick. Did you see that updraft there? We beat the living crap out of the wheel right on this video, and then we clogged it, and there was no nutrition left. The system identified this, and we're done. Okay, and we log our profits. Okay, took 112 spins, out, done. Session over. You can hit the showers if you want. What did we make? Once again, 290 units. Okay, so all that's left is the statistics. Thanks for watching.